Can you believe that when Stranger Things premiered on Netflix in July of 2016, it arrived quietly? There was no weekly rollout, no massive advertising push, and no guarantee that it would succeed. Yet, within weeks, the series had become a global obsession. What began as a supernatural mystery about missing kids in a small Indiana town evolved into one of the most important television properties of the 21st century. It would reshape pop culture, redefine nostalgia, and cement Netflix as a creative and commercial powerhouse. This is how Stranger Things helped build Netflix into the empire it is today. Created by Matt and Ross Duffer, Stranger Things was heavily inspired by 1980s pop culture, the films of Steven Spielberg and the horror of Stephen King, with a soundscape by John Carpenter. Instead of parodying the era, the show treated its influences sincerely. Kids rode bikes, played Dungeons and Dragons, and solved problems on their own, just like the heroes of E.T., The Goonies, and Stand By Me. The sincerity was what was key. The show didn't feel like a gimmick, it felt emotionally real. Audiences connected deeply with the characters, especially Eleven, whose shaved head, pink dress, and psychic powers became instantly iconic. Nostalgia drew in viewers, but helped build a strong storytelling and kept them invested each and every episode. Almost instantly, Stranger Things began to reshape pop culture. 1980s fashion became the mainstay again. It became mainstream to play those nerdy games like Dungeons and Dragons, and people wanted to relive the 1980s. What made the show such a success was the fact that it was an incredible storyline, but it didn't push any ideas or agendas. It was just great storytelling when it first came on the air, and it kept people engaged. And this was truly what made it the first true hit for Netflix. People wanted to watch this show. After the first season, everyone was waiting for a second, third, fourth season because the characters could develop, could become more engaging, and grow up as you watched. And that's what made it so lovely. Paired with that nostalgia is what made it such a success for Netflix. But what truly made this show so valuable for Netflix was the fact that it was such an easy merchandising machine as well as a marketing machine. Think of this as Netflix's Mickey Mouse or Netflix's Bugs Bunny. They finally had iconic characters that really positioned themselves as merchandising and marketing in the world of different items, products, whether that was selling a t-shirt, a hat, partnering with Hasbro, Funko, H&M, Target, Lego, Nike, anything you can imagine, you could get Stranger Things on it. On top of that, they revived unique concepts like New Coke, an idea that was a failure for many in the 80s. It blurred the lines between storytelling and branding. Netflix also pioneered experimental marketing with pop up malls, haunted houses, and themed escape rooms. It even had interactive fan events throughout the world. Stranger Things expanded as not just a brand, but as a piece of Americana. And that's what made it so valuable. From the beginning, they utilized the characters once they started having success. They could see that these characters would be the ideal way to expand Netflix even further, and they saw the value in Stranger Things. With these pop up events, these shows, these plays, anything you can imagine, it had Stranger Things on it, and that's what created value as a streaming service for Netflix. The characters would even find their way into theme parks, with HHN, Universal's Halloween event, having Stranger Things as one of the haunted houses, and people loved it. Everywhere you went in the Orlando or LA area, you could see people wearing merchandise from these events. It was such a hit, and people loved the haunted house. Everyone wanted to be a part of the Stranger Things universe. See, before Stranger Things, Netflix was primarily a convenient streaming service, and after it, it became a serious creative studio. The show proved several critical points. Streaming originals could rival and surpass that of cable network TV. Entire seasons released at once could dominate cultural conversations, and prestige in storytelling didn't require any traditional studios. Netflix helped develop their top talent and built them into something as a marketing machine. They coached their talent into being able to talk about the shows and being able to go on press tours and really showcase the creative ability of Stranger Things and Netflix. In many ways, Stranger Things did for Netflix like Star Wars did for Lucasfilms or Harry Potter did for Warner Brothers. It gave the company even more recognizable emotion and marketability in the marketplace. As the series progressed, its scope expanded dramatically. What began as a small mystery grew into a multi location epic involving Soviet prisons, alternate dimensions, and cosmic horror. Each season becoming more cinematic, with longer episodes and advanced visual effects. But with all that advancement, meant it would take longer between seasons, it would take longer to film, it would take longer to develop the characters within the scenes. That was truly one of the biggest downsides of this successful franchise was the fact that Netflix couldn't keep up with the demand of producing the show as it became so popular that fans wanted episode after episode, season after season, like that of traditional television where you could always expect one season right after the other season, typically a 6-month span in between, where this was taking years to film and produce shows. Stranger Things ended, but it was not a fading hit. It was still a cultural phenomenon. It has influenced how Netflix will approach shows and other streaming services approach shows in the future. It may be one of the greatest achievements Netflix will ever have and the Duffer Brothers will ever produce. It was proof of concept. This show truly changed the landscape of television, movies, and streaming forever. The success of this show meant Netflix became a creative entity. They were no longer just a streaming service, a technology company. They were a full-fledged media empire. And you can expect that there will be spin-offs, movies, or even sequels in the future. Though nobody has confirmed this, Netflix will want their money and they'll want to keep producing unique concepts based off of Stranger Things. What are your thoughts on Stranger Things? Did you enjoy the final season? Let us know in the comments below what your overall thoughts are. We'd love to hear from all of you. Thank you so much for watching Believable Truths.